Welcome everyone to our LinkedIn live session for the launch of our Gen AI powered DB Shift. At Systech, we have been focused on helping companies modernize their data and analytics infrastructure for a long time. Modernization meant that our clients have had to migrate their data and applications to new, constantly evolving platforms, data warehouses, and data lakes. Migrations of data and applications take time and require intricate examination of legacy systems, applications, to accurately map them across to the new platform. Migrating these legacy applications to the cloud is a strategic imperative for enterprises, yet it remains a formidable challenge and many have yet to migrate them all. Systech has, at Systech, we built DB Shift as an accelerator to facilitate such migrations, mapping specific sources to targets in new environments. And this has been something we did a few years ago. But with the advent of Gen AI, we've had an opportunity to grow this capability to a new height. We have incorporated and expanded those maps in our accelerator, teaching or fine-tuning such capabilities to a wider number of platforms, and built our model on that. We are harnessing Gen AI's unique capabilities to learn and apply, map and transform operations, reduce the costs, and create consistent and efficient migrations. Today, we launch our AI-powered DB Shift. Cloud migrations can be a breeze compared to the past. Mapping multiple source systems to a data warehouse can be accomplished with ease. Data lakes can have consistent data sets from multiple sources. Our clients can save on time and costs. Generated scripts can improve on quality and reduce the risks. As the pace of Gen AI adoption accelerates, Systech is strategically investing in our flagship accelerator, DB Shift. We are harnessing Gen AI's unique capabilities to learn the complexities across different platforms and migrate apps. Our journey and experience with cloud migration served as a source for training the model, where we applied Gen AI to tackle real-world complexities of migrations. Today, we are happy to announce the launch of our Gen AI-infused flagship product, DB Shift. I'm joined by Aditya, our VP of Enterprise Applications, and Sunil, our VP of Product Engineering. We will explore how DB Shift is revolutionizing the cloud migration landscape. Then, let's see. Let me get it started with Aditya. Aditya, you have considerable experience in migration projects. Can you start with your experiences and tell us about the challenges involved? Share any insights that you have on the impact of DB Shift and Gen AI.
Sure. Thank you for having me here. Very excited to unveil and talk about DB Shift and its new capabilities. And yes, you're absolutely right. Like so many other technology problems, it really boils down to the complexity of the migration. Typically, cloud migrations, it encompasses many different activities. And the traditional way of doing the migration, it's fraught with a lot of challenges, often relying on manual assessments, which can be off sometimes. And the lift and shift approach, they can lead to issues like data integrity, often lengthy migration times, unpredicted issues, risk of errors, and the one that customers usually hit the most, downtime of their applications or systems. Right? And the sheer magnitude of the tasks involved, it's traditionally made cloud migration a daunting and resource-intensive task for everyone involved. And sometimes it can take months or even years to complete.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually faced situations like that at a data migration. I was involved at Nationwide Insurance, where we were migrating the data away from Teradata. And this experience has actually served as a compelling reason for me to, work on a tool like this, which can help mitigate the unforeseen challenges that customers face. These obstacles, they've actually prevented many organizations from capitalizing on potential, the full potential of cloud and what it can offer. And AI assisted migrations, it aims to overcome all the hurdles that the clients usually face. And with DB Shift, we are actually revolutionizing cloud migration by generating the latest the world of AI ML has to offer to automate and optimize the whole process.
Well, thank you, Aditya. It's true. You hit the nail on the head. Companies look to de-risk their migration journey to protect their proprietary assets and the risks involved in going to a new platform. And that's why even giants like Apple, we noticed, don't move fast on migration projects. But with a heightened focus on revolutionizing business with AI, there's a push to get on board. Luckily, with Gen AI powered migrations, they can move forward with more confidence, knowing that their assets are in good hands and can be migrated at speed and with quality. Aditya, can you tell us more about how we change the game with Gen AI?
Sure. With AI-driven solutions like generative AI, we're transforming the whole process here. It can automate almost everything from the initial assessments that we do, and it can provide the organizations with a clear, very data-driven migration roadmap that can accelerate the entire process. And it also enhances the accuracy and improve timelines while we are at it. And by mitigating these risks and aligning with the company's strategic IT goals, we can confidently move ahead with the migration to the cloud, knowing that your data is secure. It can even automate the scripts that are being migrated. It can do data validations. It can create testing scripts, and we can dramatically reduce the whole migration timeline from weeks, maybe sometimes even months, to a mere hours. When we initially started, the AI model that we're using, the accuracy was ranging somewhere between 60 to 70%. But right now it's close to 90%. And this exponential improvement shows that our continuous investment is only going to improve the whole accuracy of the model, and someday it's going to be completely automated without any manual intervention. And we're very close to that now. So this approach, it totally changes the game, and clients can rest assured that their whole data and the whole process is done very securely and at a very fast pace.
Fantastic. Thanks, Aditya. The growth of Gen AI has really opened up new possibilities across many fields. Now, Sunil, I'd love to hear from you. It's been quite a ride adding Gen AI features to DB Shift. Can you share some thoughts on why we decided to bring Gen AI into DB Shift, and how this move is making things even better for our clients, especially since DB Shift is known for delivering quick results already?
Yeah, sure. The generative AI integration that we did with DBSIP doesn't change the methodology of the DBSIP. We still follow the same principle of how we do the migration. What changes with this integration of Gen AI is that who does the migration. See, it's like now the AI is now capable of doing the migration rather than the human beings that we usually have deployed over a project to do the migration. That's the shift that we are talking about now. We did had the partial automation earlier in our DB Shift technology as well. We had something called deterministic mapper, which we have built it over a period of time, which was having a set of rules that we have defined for the source data warehouse to the target data warehouse, and it was having the right mapping translation kind of a rules already been mapped in. But with using this generative AI technology, we are effectively able to do the migration almost up to 90% of overall objects that you might probably see in a data warehouse system. What it has actually brought us to a level that it is now able to generate, rather than do a migration, it's able to generate the target scripts that needs to be there for the target data warehouse, specific to the one which is coming up from the source, in exact same semantics, in exact same syntax, in exact same business rules and the logics. And that's exactly what is cutting on drastically the time it takes to do the migration. So that's the change that we are bringing it up here.
And Sunil, we thought about it as this gave us a significant leap forward. As we infused Gen AI into DB Shift, we focused on a few key areas to maximize the impact. Sunil, maybe you can shed light on the building blocks of the new and improved DB Shift.
Sure, Arun. So if you look at the DB Shift, tool that we have, it's fundamentally have three building blocks, and starting from the assessment. So we have this automated assessment which goes and scans the data warehouse, the source data warehouse, and looks for the objects, candidate objects, in fact, which needs to be translated to the target. Now, it could be including the table structure, it could be the constraints on the table, relationship between the tables, all the way to the triggers, views, ETL script which has been written, like a stored procedure and things like that. Now, these are the candidates, which is something which needs to be migrated from a source data warehouse to the target data warehouse. So it's always crucial before the start of the migration project is to assess the complexity of all these objects so that you can do the right sizing. Right? And also give kind of like an assessment or a risk report to the customer upfront that, hey, what will it take to do the migration? With the generative AI capabilities, we are able to do these scorings pretty automatically. Like we actually are assigning the scores for each of these objects that needs to be migrated, and we kind of like create a assessment report saying that what portion of these overall objects will be migrated by the AI, and what might require some level of human interventions. So that is the first part of the DB Shift tool that we have now with generative AI. The second, the most crucial part, which is actually the core engine of the DB Shift with generative AI, is the migration. Now, what we have done here is that we have taken a foundational large language model, and we have used this model to and if I can talk about a little bit of a foundational large language model, the model was already having a good SQL understanding, if I could say. Now, what it was lacking is that specification, for example, for a given source and a target. Like, for example, if you're having a Snowflake and a Yellowbricks as a combination, Snowflake is the source and Yellowbricks is the target, and the vice versa. The semantics or the syntax of these specific databases was not there right away from these foundational models. So we have used our, as I said, like deterministic mapper that we had as one of our IP to fine tune these foundational models to get that level of missing understanding of this database specific skills. And after we did that did the trick for us to do the migration for all these objects that I just talked about. It could be either an ETL script or could be a stored procedure and things like that. Now, because the model was having these understanding augmented by the fine tuning that we did. And on the process, we also have infused our own methodology. Like, for example, sometimes we might have some sequels written in a way that can be improved, like efficiency, or probably the constructs can be refined to work more efficiently. That level of logic also is something that we have used in our fine-tuning process, so that the model translation is much more better. Like how generally the human beings don't even go sometimes, be better than what humans could do. And the last part, which is the most crucial part, is to have the testing, robust testing done on top of the overall process. So once the migration is done, it's crucial to make sure that every object that is migrated needs to be validated in terms of syntax which is used, or the data which is what it's moving. So syntactical validation, data validation, and all this stuff. So again, we have used another foundational model, large language model, to generate these test scripts automatically, which will go and fire both on source and a target, and it will give you kind of like a report or probably a validation from both the source and a target system, and kind of like compare these two results and give you a report that, hey, how well the migration happened. So at the end, after the testing process is done, there will be a good overall migration reports gets generated, where you probably would be having a clear indication of, hey, how much has already been done and how much is probably may required. Actually, at the end of the migration, we see that like still there would be 3 to 4 or 5% at max would be kind of like objects that might require a little bit of a human intervention. We are not at the 100% yet, but 95% is a really good achievement that we have done, and that's exactly what we're bringing up to the table by having this generative AI infused in our DB Swift.
That essentially sums it up. Thank you, Aditya and Sunil. For all the tech leaders and decision makers out there, DB Shift is now powered with generative AI and ready to change the game in migration and optimization of data, applications, and from platform to any other platform. It's more than just moving to the cloud. It's about doing it smartly, efficiently, and with an eye to the future. We'd love for you to check out what DB Shift can do and join us in this exciting journey. Keep an eye out for our next sessions, where we'll get into more details about DB Shift and how Gen AI would transform this migration process. Thanks for being with us today. At this point, let me open it up for Q&A and invite questions. And feel free to type up any questions on the Q&A box. At the bottom, you'd see an icon for Q&A. Click on that and pose your questions, and we'll try to get to all of them. Let me open it up. I do see some questions already. Let me get into the first one. Is this product already generally available? What is the release date for the product? Will there be a demo? How do I see this product? Well, the good news, we are launching it today, meaning it is GA at this point, and we are happy to set up appointments for you and talk about it, answer your questions, and demonstrate the product. We will also try to do further sessions with, clips of demonstrations, but we can do a custom one if you were to go ahead and click on the links provided and register for that, sign up for that. Does that, let's take it to the next question.
Yeah. I think, Sunil, you can take the next one. What does it take to build a Gen AI model?
Sure. Well, actually, it's a very broad kind of a question. If you need to first define really the objective of what you want to do with this model. There are techniques that currently available. If you're trying to create AI apps, then you may not necessarily need to create. You may not necessarily to go ahead and create a full-fledged model to serve your AI apps. You can probably use some of the open models which is already available, or probably you can use some of the models like OpenAI, GPT-4, and things like that, which does really good kind of performances on many tasks. But for example, say if you may have to create some very key skills, which is quite proprietary for your maybe operations or business, which you want to put it as a part of your of the model to be able to get these kind of answers done or the task being completed. There you may go for either fine-tuning or probably start a model from scratch as well. That's a little bit of a bigger overtake, because it does require for you to set up an infrastructure first, which is the first part of it, like getting an infrastructure ready. Generally, for till now we are only be able to do these things over a GPU cluster. So either you buy that GPU cluster in-house at a data center, or you can opt for some of the cloud GPU clusters which is available, like Lambda, AWS clouds, and Azure clouds. We have platforms like Docker, which also supports these level of infrastructure, where you can start training your products or models. And once you have that ready, once you have the infrastructure ready, then you have to start looking at the data that you probably would require. And there's a combination of source and target, or probably, in fact, if you look at that, fine-tuning is called something called unsupervised way of looking at it, creating a model. GPT, like creating a pre-training model, is unsupervised way of creating a model. So there's some level of distinction. Maybe it's a very broad topic. Maybe a specification could be make more meaningful to talk in more details. But in case if any further questions that you might have onto specific thing that you want to build, do get in touch with us, and we probably can get more clarity on exactly how we do it and give you more details on this.
Awesome. I think I'll take the last question. Can I host this in my environment? At the moment, DBShift does use a proprietary model, and it is hosted within Systex's environment, and it does need access to the source DB and the destination DB for the migration. But for the assessment, it does need just a connection to the source. Migrating this and making sure that this whole application runs on your environment, it does take some level of customization to move the black box to the environment, and it does require a little bit of the setup of the infra, which we're open to considering. So do reach out, and then we should be able to work out a demo that's in your environment.
I think people are curious because there's been a lot of talk about how do you take these Gen AI models. I mean, an app like ChatGPT is general purpose. How do you make it enterprise standard? How do I do my own things to help my business, or maybe some processes that you want to automate through this process? So this, I think, will only grow the number of ways in which you can apply it. At Systex, we've been focused on also using it for interpreting dashboards, any data in your data warehouse, making full use of the entire data set and bringing about answers in a comprehensive way. And even using the general knowledge out there to draw in some insights into why that particular metric, dashboard, or particular report, what is it telling you? Is it suggesting possible next best action? So things like that. We continue to work on these models. There's a lot of effort underway at Systex Labs, and we're very excited by some of the things that we've been able to accomplish, and we're looking to bring that forward too. Is there a next question, Adit?
I think we've covered it all, Arun.
So at this point, let's give it a minute or so to see if anybody else comes up with questions, and we'll take it from there. Anything else that you would want to share with the audience, Sunil or Aditya?
So I'm good at this point.
Well, I'm very excited to be launching this, and excited for the times ahead. There's so many possibilities in the future. There's so many things that we can add and enhance the tool, and it's an exciting time to be in.
Absolutely. And with that excitement, why don't we, until the next session, let's sign off and do, if you wish to take a look at it, do sign up, or next best thing, show up for our next session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.